because this our picking them as young as they be, and not knowing that the spirit where they this place, you think you are old enough to open your mouth and vomit nonsense. Talk back at you like this. You talk one, they talk two. You are wondering, na spirit. So Africa, they not born that picking will make a trial. This is a kind of story that touches the heart. That touches the heart, my people.
Say my name until the city burns and the stars fade away and your scars don't hurt. Stay with me until the last.
Our shout out winners for today are Esther's Chronicles TV. Massive shout out to you, sisters, always. Next up, we have BB Physio Food. Thank you, wonderful sister, for your support. Sharon and family, thank you. Massive shout out to you as well. You are amongst the first 3 that commented on our previous video. If you want to get this shout out, please drop your comments as soon as you watch this video. Please welcome to our channel. If this is your first time here, you are so warmly welcome. Thank you for landing here. You are really appreciated. Please go ahead and hit on the red subscribe button underneath the video and join the Exquisites family before I proceed into the video. Yes, my name is Elsie. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful girls, Zeli and Zina, and we live in Connecticut, USA. So guys, it's been a while we did this kind of sit down chit chat pep talk video. I mean, what I have on my mind, I've been ruminating on for some time now, and I felt the need for us to discuss this because although it hasn't happened to me directly, but it has happened to other people, and for the fact that I am a parent and I know a lot of you also are parents, I feel like this is something that we should talk about, share ideas. Matter of fact, I felt like even doing a live video, but just looking at my schedules, it's not going to work, because with a live video we could all exchange our thoughts simultaneously and then learn from it in one way or the other. Even when I go to the gym lately, that's what keeps running through my mind. I just can't help it, because this is the kind of story that touches the heart. This is the kind of story that should not happen to anybody. It should not happen to any parents. You guys, you have kids, you know exactly what you go through from the time you have your baby, you raise them up, you spend, or you sacrifice a lot. As a matter of fact, as a parent, your life is all about sacrifices, you know, for your children. So this happened a few weeks back, and I've been struggling with it because my thought process could not carry it. Let me just put it that way. It happened here in the US, in 2 different states, and to even make the matter worse, it's not just about Africans, it's about Cameroonians. So I felt attached to this story. Like I said, my mind has not been able to process it. When one of the situations happened, I was still trying to, you know, rack my head around it. Then the next one happened in another state. 2 families experienced the worst ordeal, the worst predicament that you wouldn't wish even for your enemy. So a while ago, we got a very eerie, spine-chilling news, like terrifying news of a kid that ended the lives of both parents. And in my head, I've been wondering, like, what is it that can really push a child to their wit's end, to the point of, you know, taking the lives of his or her parents? It's a really difficult one, and my mind has not been able to process it. Maybe people should tell me, oh, what can potentially push a child to do that to his or her parents. I'm a mother myself. I mean, these parents were once like us, raising young babies, you know, happily. You're doing all you can to make them happy, but little did they know that it would end up like this. Mind you, raising children in this part of the world has never been easy, guys. It has never been easy. That's why you even need to pray more when you are here. And you need to devise more means, more strategies on how to deal with your children in this part of the world. We are restricted on a lot of things. We are restricted. You can't do this, you can't do that. So what can you really do differently? Maybe I'm going paranoid with this whole thing, but you guys just be listening to me, because I may just be jumping from one place to the other because there's so much running through my mind, and I may not be able to put my facts together, but This is what it is. The first kid ended the lives of both parents, and the other one ended the life of his mother. I don't know if the mother was sleeping or something, but I learned that this child has had a history of, issues upon issues. I'm not sure what steps the mom took, but definitely as a parent, you must have taken some steps to ensure that you fix the problem. Even though also as parents, sometimes we put in a lot of emotions and we fail to correct our children appropriately. Because these children, I don't know, they just act subconsciously. So how do we really help them so that they can think through their actions before they do them? Please, you guys, help me, because it's incomprehensible. It is difficult to process. So this is what happened to both families here in America. And I really got so touched by these stories because it has to do with Cameroonian families. Like, what is happening? Why should this be happening? Again, it's just what we heard. Like, these are just the few cases that we've heard of, and it is happening with other races, but this one's probably because they are Africans and they are Cameroonians, so it actually went wild. Like, it's a trending news among our African community. So it is in our place to think about it. Like, what do you think people should do differently to help their children? Seriously, it is difficult to raise children in this part of the world. You understand, some of you who are from Africa, who are living in the diaspora, you know that in Africa, you don't raise your child by yourself. A whole community is there. There's a whole community to help you raise your child, because you are not there all the time. Your eyes will not be on your child all the time. You are limited to the number of times you will see, your children display some kind of demeanor that doesn't stand well with society and with yourself. So the community is there to help you raise your children. Trust me, that's why you see that a lot of us who have this African upbringing, we are different. We understand some values. You can't talk back at your parents. You can't. In fact, you have to be respectful. It is a must. It's a culture. You have to respect it. But in this part of the world, you are so limited. You can't do this, you can't do that. You do all you can. In fact, as a parent in this part of the world, your life is that of sacrifices. Once you are a parent, you have kids. In fact, you go through a lot. After raising your kids, giving birth to them, your kids will grow up, they will antagonize you, they will abuse you and still be the first to go out there and call the cops on you for maybe scolding them. You can be sure that they will come after you. But then you are just trying to put the child's head straight. You're supposed to put your head straight, because all these things I just keep thinking, because definitely I know these parents whom this issue happened to were trying their best to the best of their ability. They did what they could do in their capacity as parents to ensure that they do the right thing. So for this to have happened, seriously, we need to pray a lot. We need to pray a lot, and don't use emotions to raise your children. I am not going to elaborate so much about this whole thing. You see that I'm just going back and forth. In fact, I'm not really correlating my discussion here, because like I said, my mind is in shambles, in confusion as to why kids would do something like this. This will not be your portion in Jesus' name. You watching me, it will not be your portion in Jesus' name. Let God help us to raise our children the right way. Let God keep our children away from bad and negative influence, because you will do all you can to raise your child appropriately. You will teach them all the values that they need in order to be successful in life, in order to maximize their resources and do the right stuff. But you are not sure of the influence they will get out there. Once they transition, once they integrate into the community, you don't know who they meet. You're not sure of the peer influence. Guys, it is difficult. That's why I said previously that it is difficult to raise your child in this part of the world. So this doesn't happen. If you are from Africa, you know this is not a kind of news, this kind of stories that touch the heart. It's not something you get to hear often. But here it is rampant. It is just things that happen all the time. If you Google through, you see that, it happens all the time. So I felt the need to discuss this because I live in this part of the world. I have kids. So guys, share your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there is something that parents should do differently so that this kind of stories that touch the heart will not happen to parents. Imagine this lady, this professor woman whose life was cut short by the son. This is a woman who was at the break, like at the crack of her career as a professor. Her life just wasted like that by a recalcitrant child. The thing don't pass me, oh. The thing don't pass me. Even though man this country, my pikin do any kind how. I go put your head straight. I go put your head straight. God said no go vex. He say don't spare the rod and spoil the child. We get for do the needful. Our children's head have to be straight. Correct them when you need to correct them. Redirect them when you need to do it. Otherwise, if you use emotions to handle the matter, seriously, you don't know. Because this our picking them as young as they be, 2-year-old, 3-year-old. I don't know that the spirit where they this place, oh, picking go talk back at you like this. You talk 1, they talk 2. You talk 3, they talk 4. You are wondering, na spirit. For Africa, they not born that picking will make a triumph. Even when they've grown up, they've gone to the university, they are knowledgeable enough, they won't talk back. Here I see parents going through what cannot even explain. A teenager, you are still under your mother's roof, oh, but you think you are old enough to open your mouth and vomit nonsense. When I first came to this country years back, there was a trending news then of a parent who had to cajole his son, like convinced and deceived him and took him back home and left him there. But before that happened, this guy had gotten, like, he was physical with the father. But because the father is an adult in this case and the child, they will not want to believe the father. Nobody wants to look detailedly, like look critically into what is happening. Why is this situation happening? They just feel like, oh, you're an adult in this case. This is how. So the father got frustrated and like, you know what? I have to find a strategy around this. Make that begin go Africa, make your head straight. Because once they are there, they are uncles, aunties. They will put your head straight for you. They will put your head straight. So guys, you guys tell me, even though I'm smiling like this, my heart is bubbling inside. Like my heart is, it is well. Like I said, it will not be your portion in Jesus' name. Gather all the resources that you can. Seek help if you can. If you're beginning to see your child act out of normal, like if your child is beginning to display a kind of demeanor, or your child is beginning to act in a kind of way that negates the normal code of conduct, please take no chances, avoid emotions, and deal with it squarely. Deal with it squarely, because I'm also sure on the other hand that parents who put emotions and don't correct or redirect their child or their children appropriately, they're supposed to, it always ends up with stories that touch the heart like this one. But God forbid bad thing. God forbid that your own child that you labored for, you did all you could, you sacrificed to ensure that they become what they are, turn around and end your own life. God forbid. God forbid. So this is what I thought to share with you. I just want to see your reactions in the comment section and let me know again what people can do differently, and just word of advice to parents. And I know people who come subsequently to read those comments will be able to, you know, maybe change their mindset on how to handle their kids at home and to make them better people. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll be bringing more content like this. You take care guys, and I'll see you soon with another video. God bless you all. Bye.